smoking, which led to the free weight area, which led to my addiction.
Well,
Basic.
bodybuilding can be addictive because, yeah, bodybuilding can be addictive because the training, the building the muscles, you know. For us guys, as I often say, my crime is a muscle spur smell. We look at y'all ladies, y'all bodies, it's kind of addictive for us. But people got to understand the work and the ethic you put into it and consistency involved as a bodybuilder.
Well, once I started,
Hello.
it sort of like a snowball effect. I couldn't stop, and I still can't stop. I just love lifting weights.
Mhm. Yeah, the thing is, you have to really. This is a sport about passion, the training and dieting. So, what was your life like before you got into bodybuilding?
Well, that was most of my adult life. Before that was raising three kids, um, staying home, being out of shape, being overweight, being a heavy smoker, uh, and basically feeling like crap most of the time.
Hmm.
Till
Yeah.
I point
How,
where I didn't want to feel like that anymore.
mhm. So you have three kids. How old are your babies?
Uh, Boy, that's a good question. Now I have to like add and subtract. My oldest just turned 48 yesterday. And then I have a 46 and a 44.
You had them close together, didn't you?
So I had them very close together. Yes. So all three of them are in their 40s. And I have five grandchildren altogether. The oldest is
Ah, 12. Oh, yeah. It's a boy or girl.
girl, girl.
Yeah, if it's a boy, you got to.
He's an inch older than me already.
That's the thing about children. Once you feed them, they just keep growing. I never had the pleasure of having children myself, but I grew up in a family, like there was six of us all together between my mother and father. And my father had a son before he married my mother and a daughter after they broke up. They were together for 55 years, my parents. But, my dad would live up in New Jersey. My mom was down here in North Carolina with the rest of us. I got nieces and nephews, great nieces and nephews. It's just family is something that's very important, especially when it comes to this sport. Like, are you and your husband still together, or is he around?
Well, I'm in my second marriage, but we've been together for about 26 years now.
Oh, he's a good man. Y'all been together that long. And he supports your bodybuilding.
He's not. He doesn't do bodybuilding, but he's my best friend.
That's good because you know what? That's good to have that support. Because this is a difficult sport, especially when it comes for women, because there's a lot of you have to do building muscle, to maintain, to work out, to train. And it's good to have somebody who's in your corner. He may not be into it as for himself, but as long as you love it, that's good for him.
Yeah, he's very supportive of anything I want to do. Actually,
Yeah. So anyway, you just made your debut last year at St. Pete's, that's in Florida. And what was that experience like for you that first time being on stage? Folks, we got technical difficulty. I think we're gonna have some issues. Ooh, dang, why should I turn off the phone? I should turn off the phone. Oh, folks, I think she froze up. Uh, um, well, folks, give us a minute and we'll see what we can do. Maybe she try to call me. Yeah. So, folks, I'm going to step out for a minute, and I'm going to do this. Um, what really inspired me about this is a video that Gina Carvalho tagged me in about Mrs. Moses, about Miss Barbara, and she's gonna be back. Give her a minute, and you can want to check it out. You can follow her on social media. This is a video that Gina tagged me in. Is in my IG, where she talks about her client.
Team for Pro women's physique athlete, and she's 73 years old. Age is truly just a number, and Barbara is living proof. After dual knee replacements, both shoulders replaced, and her lumbar spine caged and fused, she's still in the gym lifting like a champ. And on top of it all, she's a blood cancer survivor too. Actually, let's just call Barbara what she is, a survivor, period. I've had the honor of coaching her since mid-January, and in that time, we've seen better labs, tighter skin, and more muscle. Barbara is looking and feeling her best, and don't even get me started on that lat growth. So excited to guide this woman to the stage this year. Thank you, Barbara. You're one kick-ass grandma.
Well, folks, I had to share the video that Gina Cavara made, because we had a little situation with the lovely Miss Barbara. She stepped out for a minute, but she's back now. And that wasn't, because Gina tagged me in that video, and I shared it, say, wow. So I said, you know what, hearing about your story about dealing with blood cancer, what was it specifically, the cancer, and when was this?
Actually a rare type of blood cancer. There's less than 200,000 people in the country that have it. It's called essential thrombocythemia. I know it's a mouthful. What it is it's caused by a mutation in the bone marrow that causes stem cells to produce defective and too many platelets. So I have to take a oral chemo drug for the rest of my life to keep my platelets in a normal range.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're not the first lady I have here on cancer. I interviewed a lady. Her name is Wendy Heesip. She's IFB Pro. She had cancer. She had breast cancer, and she had to have both of her double mastectomy, where you had both her breasts removed. One lady, shout out to Randy Dean. She just was a survivor of thyroid cancer. Randy right now is out because he has some shoulder surgery. One lady, Florencia Hunt, she lives right here in my state of North Carolina. She was Olympic level track star, and she was hit with cancer, and she takes also oral, stimulants to help with her cancer, because she didn't want to lose her leg, and she competes. She's not now. Florencia is qualified for the 2025 Master Olympia. Shout out to her. We have here some guests here dropping in here. Shout out to my guests. My man here, Nodos, he says this. Shout out to him. He says, hi, everybody. Hey, hi, Nodos. Also, he says this. He says, I can't wait for this interview. Oh, I appreciate it. And my man, KL the Wanderer, we just did a live together yesterday. He's my brother, my brother from another. He says, salute. And yeah, and that's tough. I mean, you were like a rare blood cancer.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's rare. There's not that many doctors that know that much about it. I have to travel all the way to Miami for my cancer doctor. So
it's a long way to travel. And also you had some surgeries too, because she mentioned you had to deal with some several surgeries.
Yeah, I had quite a number of surgeries, and all of my surgeries are directly due to osteoarthritis. Some people have it, and some people, it's more prevalent in women. It's very common, and I just keep getting parts replaced. So I'm like an old car. I keep getting new parts so I can keep going.
Well, ma'am, I can tell you this about myself. I have also dealing with arthritis in both my knees. I got two bad knees like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Also, I don't have a part replaced, but I had to get a part over my heart. I have a pacemaker. Had it for 12 years, and that's been keeping me going, because I remember when I went to see a specialist, he told me my fracture rate was under 12%, and said I had to get surgery, as soon as possible, because if it goes that low, you don't have much of a life. So back to the original question I was going to ask you. What was that experience like, your first time going on stage? And you got to think about it. You're out there, you're halfway butt naked. Guys are looking at you up and down, say, yeah, who's that?
That never bothered. I mean, old ladies really don't care about people seeing them naked, to be honest. Most old ladies don't care. But the whole experience, when I look back on it, is a lot of it's a bit of a fog because it was such a whirlwind and it was so intense. So that's what that's part of what's motivating me to do it again. I feel like I want more of an opportunity to try to pay attention to what I'm experiencing.
Yeah, bodybuilding's experience because one thing is the training, the dieting, staying persistent, and it's so easy to get derailed by life. Like some days you be hungry, you be like, what, the grandbabies around, they're eating this, and what's that eating, and
No, I'll be honest with you. I think I read this somewhere that as far as the diet goes, I've heard that it's more difficult when you're younger. For some reason, when you're older, it's not quite as difficult. I find that the dieting and the training, I mean, I don't want to say it's easy, but if you're dedicated, if you're kind of obsessed like I am, that's almost like the easy part. For me, the hardest part is posing. And my limitations because of my prosthetic shoulders and the rods and screws in my back limit my ability to get into some of the poses in the most optimal way. So that's my biggest problem.
Yeah, that's thinking poses like it's an essential part of competitions. It's the presentation. I know quite a few ladies who are some of the pretty good posing, and also some pretty good coach. One of your coaches, who does your posing coach, I got to meet while I was in Tampa this past summer, and that is Sharonica Hinton at the time, who was #3 in the world at
Yep.
the Olympia. Yeah, a lovely lady. She had a recently passed in her family. Her little dog passed away. My condolences to Sharonica. Just amazing lady. She's been a multi-Olympian, top 5 right now this year. She was top 3 last before. We hope we might see her compete sometime soon. And when did you meet Sharonica? And what's your experience working with her?
Oh my God, I absolutely adore her. I found her online, I contacted her, and I actually drive up and back to Orlando for her posing sessions. Generally, what I do, because it's about a 3-hour drive from me, is I have a session, I stay in a local motel, and then I have another session the next day before I drive home. So I'm getting 2 sessions for the same commute.
That's pretty smart. It makes sense because you know what, you don't want to just go back and forth, go back and forth. You want a place to stay and rest.
It's actually it financially it's not that much different. It's about the same in terms of gas and tolls as getting the room. So it's just the way we've been doing it. And I generally do that like once or twice a month, pretty ongoing. And I, I mean, as soon as I met her, I fell in love with her. She's just as 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 incredible of a poser she is, and as Olympian she is, and as gorgeous as she is, she's even more beautiful on the inside. She has a heart.
Yeah, I remember a while back when her and her girlfriend Chris got engaged. I took that video. You can go find it. You can find if you go to my YouTube. It's all actually on my IG. It's way somewhere down there. It's around about I think the year when she competed at the I think it was a Texas Pro that year where she competed. And I took that and I put it into my IG. And I put her girlfriend Chris is a cool girl. If you ever met her, and
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. And I put a song over it. It's Case every happily after. I think she loved that because it was nice, it was cute. I know, but now that they're married now and they're wife and wife, and she
I'm
is.
that.
Hmm?
I'm gonna. When we're done, I'm gonna go look for that video because now I'm curious.
Yeah, you know what? I can go through it and I'll send it to you later because it's. I know it's yeah because I send it to you. You don't have to go look at it. I'll send it to you. I do that for you.
That way, I don't have to go hunting for it.
Yeah, yeah. I don't got a problem. I'm like you. I don't got. I got a lot of free time in my hands. Except for you, you train, you work out, and you got more free time than I do. But that experience in St. Pete's, what was that like for you? I mean, that first time on stage. It can be one thing about bodybuilding. What people don't understand, especially those from the outside of it, is that when we see y'all people on stage, we see you men and women, y'all in great shape, it's great condition. We understand what you have to go through to get there, the training, the dieting, the hungry, the tiredness. Then you got to get spray tan, you got to be butt ass naked, and all that's involved in it. And then to get to that one point, you only have a few minutes.
Well, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a really intense few days. You get there and you have to, everything you have to pack. You have to pack all your meals that your coach tells you you're going to need, all your food, and everything you're going to need. I pre-scheduled my tan. I used Sharonica was the one that tanned me, and because she was working there that weekend, and I pre-scheduled my makeup, and of course, I had my suit. I had gotten it probably more than a month in advance. I had ordered that. It was designed for me. So it's just, and then you go, and then the morning of the show, which is always on a Saturday, or almost always on a Saturday, my makeup person was at my hotel room door at 3:15 in the morning. So it starts very, very early.
Yeah, because you got to be up and ready. Cause especially they're gonna give you a base tan, and then you have to get another tan just to make a touch up. Then even though you only have like maybe a good minute or two of a routine, you still have to be presentable. You have to still look nice. Like I mentioned this quite often on my channel. How you look at compared to the men to the women, the guys got to put on a pair of banana hammocks and board shorts. You ladies have to have a presentation of femininity and muscularity. You have to walk a tightrope as a bodybuilder.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. I mean, I can't speak to what it's like as a male bodybuilder, but with women, there's the jewelry that has to match the suit, and the manicure that has to match the suit and the jewelry. And then because I have really short hair, that's one thing I really didn't do anything about. But it's the makeup, and it's not like regular makeup; it's stage makeup. So, it's a professional makeup artist that does makeup for bodybuilding shows, and it's very different looking than regular makeup.
Because you don't want to be on stage and you start sweating the lights and you look like Tammy Faye Baker.
Well, yeah, I think the lights have a lot to do with it. I don't really know. I just know that these women that do it know what to do, and I trust them to make my face look like it's supposed to look.
You want to look fabulous. You want to go with a smile, as my other guy said. So, folks, we got Miss Barbara here. We're going to do this. We was in her IG for a bit. We showed that little video, but we're going to show a little more. If you're interested in supporting the lovely Mrs. Moses, reach out in genuine interest, guys. Show respect. This is a lovely lady. She's been through this, that, anything. This is why I enjoy the opportunity to talk to anybody who found bodybuilding as a way to deal with their issues physically or just as a sport, just to have a passion for it. But guys, this is somebody's mother, somebody's grandmother. This could be your mother, your grandmother. Don't be weird. No weird shit. Don't be saying like, say, what you do? That's somebody's grandma, man. I don't care. She got big muscles. I don't want to see like, don't do that, guys. Stop it. Get some help, you sick freaks. Huh?
Everybody sees this, older women, and they're interested in, basically picking my brain or asking me any questions. Feel free to contact me.
Yes, that's what you want to do. Ladies out there who are in her age group or maybe is old, but still up there, I'm saying mature. If you're interested in it, there's quite a few ladies where they're into bodybuilding is mature. Reach out in genuine interest. But to the other guys, you sick freaks, I know who you are. Don't send the weird shit. So we're going to jump into her social media for a little bit and give her some time. She can put down the phone and rest for a little bit. And we showed the video already where Gina talks about her. Also, here is some progress pictures here. Amazing. Wow. I mean, if you told me you were 73, I wouldn't believe it.
Well, thank you. But yeah, I'm 73.
Yeah. Usually as a gentleman, I don't tell a lady's age, but you don't have a problem with it. And here she is. This is right here. Wow. Up close and personal. And this one of the pictures she sent me. This is on her back. And when did you take that photo?
This was a professionally done photo shoot that I went down to Miami to some uh, photography studio, and that basically, they take 100 images and then they want to sell you a package for several $1,000s. But for
Oh.
your dollars just to do the photo shoot, you get to pick one image to keep. So that's the one I kept. I did not buy a whole book.
Well, it never hurts. There's some good photographers that they're pretty good in the area, probably that are reasonable. Oh, who is this fine tenderoni?
That is me in the mid 80s when I was in my 30s.
Yeah. I mean, what was it? I was mid 80s. I would think I was just about to be a teenager. So yeah, that's time flies. It seemed like it. And here she is, and here's her babies, the grandbabies. Oh, they're so cute. Hmm?
Those are my munchkins.
Oh, it's so cute. And here's a pretty lady right here. Ah, yeah. You have a lovely smile, madam. You do, And you're originally from Philadelphia?
Obviously.
Yeah. One of my aunts lived in Philly, a long time ago before she passed. You miss it?
I don't miss. I do miss it to a degree, but I don't miss the cold weather. I hate cold weather.
Well, here, you're in Florida. It's not too bad compared to. I'm in North Carolina. We get cold weather. We had snow. Was it about last month? It didn't last too long, about a couple of days. This is was your surgery. This was your back surgery here,
Yes.
and also, here's some more grandbabies.
Those are the three oldest, but that's
Oh,
littler. The girl with the red shirt, she's the one that's 12 now and taller than me.
Does she have interest? Because she sees her grandma work out and training. Does she has an interest of maybe getting into fitness herself?
It's hard to say at this point. She does run track. She does track. She likes running.
Yeah, that's how it starts. I know quite a few ladies who started at track and bodybuilders, And here she is with Mr. Olympia, Jay Cutler. When was this? When did you meet him?
It was a long time. I'm going to say that was probably close to 20 years ago. It was in Fort Lauderdale. I went to see a show as a spectator, and he was there, just kind of promoting his protein powder and whatever. And he was just very friendly and let anybody take pictures with him.
That's cool. I mean, I got a story to tell you. And this was told by a friend of mine. He's Ivy Pro Body. My big brother, Mr. Big Keith. Shout out to Mr. Big Keith Williams. He's an Ivy Pro. His wife is also a pro, Tina Williams. He told me a story just a long time ago. And, I think I've told the story several times because it's funny. Years ago, when he was coming up, especially a lot of the guys in the industry, bodybuilding is not a very lucrative sport. So what some guys would do was find ways to make money. What he did was he would sell his old gym clothes, his shirts and stuff. And Keith told me like this. One day he took a shirt he had, because he had a guy who was his favorite. He took a shirt he had and he forgot to wear it. So he did put some water on it and he sent it to the guy. The guy smelled it and says, "It's not you." Yes, it's a because the thing is, like I talk about my channel, that something like bodybuilding can be fetishized, even the women and the men, because it's something different. It's out of the norm, I saw a little picture with your little boudoir red thing. I was like, and I think for me as a content, we just had a conversation about this, where I know for me, I'm a fan of y'all ladies, but to me, I don't understand why people want to feel they want to disparage any woman who does the sport. If she's not something you're attracted to, then cool. But why waste the energy to comment on it, especially hatefully?
Well, I just think in general, when it comes to people, I mean, I've said this before, some people just have nothing better to do. It just, you know, look at negative things and, they just evidently they just don't have anything better to do.
Yeah, that thing is, if you don't have nothing to do in life, get a life, because you do this because this is for you a passion. You
Right.
love the training, you love the working out. It helps, especially dealing with your cancer and your other injuries and stuff in your life. But if you don't have that same mindset, hey, why discourage somebody else?
Yeah, just, if you don't like the way it looks, don't look. Look at something else.
Yeah, we have here shout out to man Paul Grice coming through. He says, you look beautiful and fantastic. Keep up the good work. And you know what? Like he stole it from me. But like my other guy would say, he agrees with you. He says, Miss Barbara, you are beautiful. Ha 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 ha. Not a problem. Not a problem, man. So what's the plan for this year? What you and Gina are working on now?
Well, tentatively, the plan is to do the October 3rd show down in Coral Springs. It's a smaller show. There's only an NPC component. There's no IFBB component, so it'll be a smaller show, all amateur, and it's not as far either from where I am as St. Pete was. So that's the tentative plan for now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Florida is, I think, it's a mecca for bodybuilding. I mean, I was at Tampa this past summer,
Right.
and it was a great experience for me. I met some ladies that at the interviews with ladies who one lady I met, her name is Amanda. Amanda lives down there. We met a few years ago when she came down here in North Carolina for a premiere of a book. A guy I know, his name is Glenn. He runs a book called a magazine called Amazon Fitness Magazine. And it was great to meet so many of the ladies there. Like my friend Eunice, she runs a company, Bad Rap. And I always want to shout out Bad Rap anytime in my interviews, because it's the moniker of it is big and defined, rip and pump. I mean, Gina probably told you about Bad Rap. Eunice is actually 60. She's gonna be 61 this year. And this is what thing she did for me. This was back in 2023 when they last had the Olympia in Orlando. Orlando. And Eunice was there, and she met one of my favorite people of all time, Andrea Shaw. Now, what she did for me was she got me this issue of Muscle Development. She sent it just a week after my birthday. But what makes the magazine so special, and what really makes it special for me, is when Andrea takes the time out and she signs it. And she appreciates my support. I know my man KLB say, hey, yeah, man, this to me as a son of this, if you give us something, Miss Barbara, never do it for free. And I'm good at what I'm doing. So, this is my payment. And is there anybody that other than Gina and Sharonica, you pay attention to sport that you really admire their ethic, their work, or just overall their physique?
Just not anybody specific right now, but since my love of the sport goes back to when I first started, lifting weights and training, which was I would say about 30 years ago. Yeah, about 30 years ago. I followed it then. And somebody distracted me. I followed
That's all
it
right.
then. There were women competing at the time who you don't see them anymore. They're completely retired. But I can't even. I don't know if it would make sense to even say names at this point. They're not from decades ago.
Well, his thing is, I've been following bodybuilding since, because I'm you wouldn't guess how old I am if you look at me. You think I'm a lot younger than I am. I'm going to be 52 in November. I've been following bodybuilding since I was a teenager.
Okay.
And I remember some amazing ladies. And one lady I got to meet when I went to my first show in bodybuilding in Savannah, two of them was Anna Rivicchio. She had a beautiful physique. She runs Muscle Angels. I got to see her again when she was at Tampa. Lena Popa, I mean, I've been talking on and off here with Linda Murray, and would love to have her as a guest in the future. And one lady who I've become really friends with, yeah, Nancy Lewis. Yeah, who's that? Somebody you know?
Put it down. What is? Why are people tapping on my car window?
Because people are stupid.
Oh my God, people are so ignorant.
Yeah, that's why it's better to be done in the house. Because sometimes people they're curious when you see somebody sitting in the car talking to the phone. I mean, I'm saying unless you like having a heart attack and like that, mind your business.
Yeah, people come up to I'll be honest with you. I think this is something that happens in Florida because I don't think it would ever happen in New Jersey.
Jersey, yeah. My father. That's where he passed away a long time ago. That's where he was at, and one of my aunts, his sister. They were in Jersey. Where you from specifically Jersey?
Well, I grew up in Philadelphia, so South Jersey.
My family, my father and my aunt lived in Patterson.
That's North Jersey.
All right.
What I'm trying to say is, for the most part, people just mind their own business up there. Here, it seems like people are always sticking their nose in everybody else.
See, this is how it breaks them down. Up there, that's the North. Y'all like New York City, all that. Y'all a little different compared to when we come down south because we like. I think you see a woman of your age sitting in the car and wondering, "Are you having a mental breakdown, man? You need anything? Are you all right?"
Yes, so, but I mean, he looked at me and I went like this, and then he starts tapping on my window. It's like
that's what's fun about doing lives. We get to see shit like this happen. But anyway, yeah, there's some really amazing ladies over the period of time. Sport has evolved. Like, you see how I know you're backstage your last competition. You see how, especially young competitors, how they evolve, how they look. I mean, and with mature competitors, it's hard to get to that level if you look at it. Like, the training dieting may not be as effective because your body doesn't have that same melanin, it doesn't have that same muscle density. It's a lot. And I know Gina has talked to you about that, dealing with that being, much older.
Muscle as quickly as I did 30 years ago. But I think for my age, I'm still adding a little bit of lean tissue.
Yeah. So, like, what was the feedback from the judges from that show? Do you ever get talked to?
I knew. I emailed and asked for feedback and never heard back. Sharonica emailed for me and she never heard back. So I do not know.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know some competitors.
Like, kind of weird.
Well, I know some competitors say they don't usually get the feedback from the judges. Some do because they want to understand what I need to work on, what do I need to fix and build for the next competition.
I don't know. So hopefully when I do the one in October, I'll get feedback for future.
Mm-hmm. So have any of your kids and your grandbabies come to your show? Did they come see the grandma and the mama?
No, they haven't because they're all up in New Jersey.
Oh, so come on, this is your mama. You can't take time off and come down.
My daughter recently mentioned that she thinks she wants to fly down for my October show. So maybe.
Well, yes, that's good because again, it goes back to I've talked to ladies who got into sport, and sometimes their family don't understand it, and because one thing about bodybuilder is always the issue of using performance enhancers, being steroids. But here's the thing like this, and this is why I learned with conversations with ladies like yourself and many others, that performance enhancers, steroids, it's only there for recovery, helps you, build back your muscle tissue. It's not the be all of bodybuilding because my friend tell me this, George, guys can take the same shit I take, but they don't follow the same diet and regimen and be consistent and be disciplined. They're not going to look like me. There's guys walking around gyms taking, whatever performance enhancers, and they look like me.
Well, yeah, I mean, Yeah, I'm, like it's you have to be careful with them, of course.
Yeah, like Anthony, you gotta be careful because we get into sport. It can be a lot. The training, the dieting. I know, like, who cooks in the house? You or the man?
Oh, me.
He's not a modern man. He doesn't do the cooking.
And if he doesn't like what I cook, then he can just have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah. My mom was like this. Hey, you don't eat what did you go hungry.
He's easy though. He pretty much will eat anything. He's fine.
She's like us, man. We don't take much. We're simple. You cook
Not,
us a hamburger, we're fine.
he's not picky, but as he's gotten so much older, his appetite has actually gone down. So he doesn't eat that much anymore.
Yeah, it happens because you know what? When one thing was with me, the reason why I put this is because when I was younger, I used to play football. I lifted weights, but then you get into life. You start working, you have a job, you don't have time to work out and train, and I worked quite a few jobs. I work at night, work in the day, and bad heat eating habits. But at one point, I was almost 500 pounds, and after my mom passed, I spent a long time taking care of her and then when she passed, it was time for me to take care of me.
Yeah.
I went to my doctor a while back. Said everything's good. I dropped a few weights. I just got he wants to see. He's prescribing some medication to help me drop a little more. But that's the thing about this is that the discipline you competitors have, to stick to a plan, to be consistent to the plan, because it can be easy to get derailed, especially just had Easter a while back. Then it's especially summertime's coming up, time for barbecues and eat outs. I mean, that's the tough part because I know somebody say they can't indulge as much when they're with the family and friends.
Well, I actually I find, and now I don't know if other people are like this or if it has something to do with the fact that I'm so much older or what. I find that sticking to my plan, my nutritional plan, weighing everything, measuring everything, it it gives me a feeling of control. And if I deviate from that, then I don't like how it feels because then I feel like I've lost control. If that makes any sense.
Because it's important because to have that control because life happens. Things is easy can be disrailed by circumstances. But then if you say, you know what, that's important about bodybuilders, discipline. It separates discipline from motivation. Motivation can change with the wind.
Yeah,
But
you
as
can't
long
wait for motivation. People, I've had people ask me, well, what motivates you? How do you get your? I don't think about motivation. I just it's discipline. It's not motivation. It's discipline. You just do it. It's like, are you really motivated every morning when you wake up to brush your teeth? No, but you just do it anyway.
well, I know some people around here that they're not disciplined about brushing their teeth.
It's like, yeah, I mean, it's not like, oh boy, I have to get motivated. I'm so excited to brush my teeth, but you do it anyway. It's just, it becomes routine, it becomes habit, it's just a discipline. That's the way I am with, training. I don't wait for, if you wait for motivation, 90% of the time, you'll never walk into the gym.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's your training like during the week? Like what kind of plan that Gina has you on, especially with between your issues with your back, your shoulder, all your other problems that you have?
Well, I basically I do a push day, a pull day, a quad day, a glute day, but basically I do mostly machine. I don't do that much with free weights anymore.
Mhm. Which is your favorite workout?
you know, it's whatever one I'm doing that day.
And what's the one that you say, damn, I don't want to do this shit today?
I I don't think I have. Maybe quads because it's sort of like the heaviest one.
So it
I
pretty much, yeah.
I can't,
So,
really either. I never feel like, oh, I don't want to. Sometimes I feel like I don't do my cardio. I'll admit that.
Who likes cardio? I mean, I used to, because with my knees, I used to ride a little stationary bike, the one sitting, because it didn't put so much pressure on my knees, but it was on the treadmill.
I just do the treadmill and I just walk, or I walk outside.
Yeah, I try to do walking outside, but sometimes, like again, my knees be talking to me. They be like, "Boy, get your ass back in the house."
Before I had my knees replaced, which I had them both done at the same time because I'm crazy. But before I had my knees replaced, I couldn't even stand. I was, if I hadn't had it done, I was ready to be in a wheelchair.
Well, you're not the first person done. Well, you're not the first person done that. I know Linda Murray did that a few years ago. She had both her knees